Welcome to the Urban Hedge Show.
Welcome back, you fucking degenerates. This is week 2 of the Urban Hedge Show College Football. Week 5. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Time to cook some shit up again.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's start it back out with, kind of our bad beats of the week last week. We had two of them, two fucking beats. We had Clemson at 7.5. Shout out Clemson, though. I have a love-hate relationship with Clemson because at the end of that game, they went for 2. They tried to get it. I mean, they wanted to punch their ticket, cover that spread. Dabo Swinney, he might have had a little bit of pocket change on it.
Something. People think that's controversy, which it's not, because they scored first. They get the 2-point conversion. Then now Wake Forest has to come down, score, and also get a 2-point conversion. So they were confident in their defense. Obviously, they only needed the 6 points. They still won the game, but they didn't cover the spread, and they fucked us for the first game on Saturday.
Yep, and then that led me to the most hurtful loss of the day, which was Texas A&M, minus 3.5. Now, when the line started, or was it 2.5? It was 2.5.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
We got them at 2.5. It was one of those things where you kind of felt like it was a bad beat from the start.
Yeah, they just couldn't move the ball. I think something's going on. Their offensive coaching staff, I think, is a bunch of fucking goons. I think they're just friends of the fucking family. I'll just say this. When you don't have no ex-NFL jack motherfucker on the sideline calling plays for you or working with your running backs, your receivers, let them know how it's done, there's a fucking problem. When you got a bunch of white boys under 6 foot calling your fucking offense, I think that's a problem. And you call me what you want, say what you want, it's a fucking problem. They can't move the ball. That quarterback's supposed to be some fucking godsend, but he's not. He looks like trash, and I feel bad for him. I feel bad for the fans of Texas A&M. I mean, you're playing in Cowboy Stadium. You think you have the edge on these guys. You don't think it's going to be a contest. You got everybody believing in you, and then you come out with a performance like that. Crushed me. I sat out on 3 o'clock games for this fucking game. I threw a bomb on it. I was so confident, so happy to play it. And from after the first 10 seconds, I knew I was fucked. I almost went to bed. I almost went to bed before halftime.
Yeah, it was. And like I said, I was so confident. In Texas A&M just coming out and playing smash mouth football, especially after going to, they went to Miami, right, and beat Miami. And I get it. Miami's not that good of a team. They just lost to Middle Tennessee State. Obviously, they're not that good. But Texas A&M still has the pieces in order to make themselves a dominant program, especially over Arkansas, who's just now starting to build their program. No, and I still tip my hat to Arkansas. KJ Jefferson, I mean, at the end of that game, fumbled the ball. What a bum. Come on.
As Nick Saban would say, they bought all their players, and it was a terrible investment. Period blank. I'll never bet on them. If I bet on a game they're playing in, I promise you it'll be for the opposing side. Fuck Texas A&M for the rest of this year. They're on the same level as Tennessee for me. I don't know about Hedge, but fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah, I'm done with them. That's why, I got a shocker of the day. So, you got some early games this week. Thursday you got South Carolina and SC State, but they don't have a spread or an over-under on that game. But you do have BYU playing Utah State. It shapes out to be a good game. I like the over. It's just an early pick. I'm not giving multiple picks right now. I'm just saying what I like for the Thursday and Friday
BYU's
games.
a good football team.
They are. They are.
It's evident. They're a good football team.
They can win games. They do win games. But I do like the over. Mark me for it.
Okay.
Then you got Friday. Almost 6 games on Friday night. How are you supposed to manage that with high school football right in the way? Especially with some of the games that you got going around our area. You got some top programs in the country. So, what do you think about that, Herb?
Yeah, you know how I am about Thursdays and Fridays. If I see something I love, I play it, but I usually try to wait till Saturday. We have our own lives, but when Saturday and Sunday comes, I kind of go into my fucking cocoon called my recliner, and I grab a 30-pack of Miller Lite, and I just stay out of everybody's fucking way and make money. So Thursdays and Fridays aren't my forte, but if I see something I like, I'll play it. I'll give you the play. I don't like anything on Thursday and Friday. Maybe BYU spread if I'm bored, but I'm sitting out till Saturday.
You can give me Houston minus 2.5 and then the over for the Washington UCLA game at 64.5. That's what I like for Thursday and Friday. Now let's roll into our Saturday picks. The main games that we kind of looked at the board and thought were the most important, especially, throughout the whole time period of the day.
All right, first game, number 7 Kentucky versus number 14 Ole Miss. Ole Miss is minus 6.5. The over and under is 53.5. So, as you all know, we are big Kentucky guys, and I like to root on the Cats. I enjoy rooting on the Cats, but let me tell you, I am scared for the Cats. I am scared for them. I don't like the spread. I think the spread is scary. I think even at Ole Miss, it's noon. It's at 12 o'clock. It's not like it's a 7 o'clock primetime game. Yeah, all their students will be there. But as Lane Kiffin has said, his fans are dog shit. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to this, but Lane Kiffin and the fan base at Ole Miss are not on the same page. So I just don't like it. I think Kentucky should still be favored. If we are as good as what these 25 AP pollers think, then we should be favored into this game. Ole Miss hasn't shown very much. Like I said, their fan base, their atmosphere isn't what it usually is. It's a scary line for Kentucky. I think Vegas knows something we don't, and I'm going to look more into it. I'm going to pay attention to it, but I'm not going to play this game because I like rooting on the Cats. But if I had to play, you know what? Actually, I think I'm going to hold on to that. Let's go over some stats. Let's hear what Hedge has to say about this game, and then we'll make a play.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me build off what you were saying there. So, as you know, both teams are coming off a very close win, especially with both of their opponents. Ole Miss playing Tulsa this weekend, only winning by 8 points. And then
embarrassing for the SEC.
Very, very embarrassing. And I'm not taking credit away from Tulsa because Tulsa's quarterback, he's a stud. He went off. I mean, the guy had a crazy fourth quarter. But the thing you got to take note in that game of Ole Miss is all 28 of their points came in the second quarter. So outside of that, they did not, in the second half, they did not score the football at all. At all. Now, they got that Southern Cal transfer, Dart, I think is his name. He did finish 13 of 14, passing with 154 yards, also throwing 116 yards rushing. So he can kind of do a little bit of both.
The Rebels lead the SEC in rushing yards with 1,123 yards. And Kentucky has Rodriguez back this week. That's a big deal. As you all know, Rodriguez got in some trouble. Fuck the Lexington cops who pulled that motherfucker over. Okay, it's okay to pull him over, but when you realize who it is, give him a fucking escort home. This is a college kid probably making shit ton of money under the table, doing this, fucking whores, everything. You know what I mean? He's a stud. He's probably a criminal, whatever. Fucking let him go home. Let him play football. Like if I was the fucking commander-in-chief at the Lexington police, whatever, I'd fucking fire that motherfucker. 10-year, 20-year, 30-year cop, I'd fire him. That's bullshit. I think everybody in Lexington agrees. I'm still pissed off about that. But I would look for Kentucky to do one of two things. Rather give Rodriguez 30 carries this week to make up for lost time, or not use him at all like dumbasses, which I believe in Stoops. I think that Rodriguez will get the rock, and I think he'll run some motherfuckers over. He has a lot of built-up anger, some rage. I'd look for this game to go under. I think both of them will run the ball. We'll try to pound it down each other's throat. So look at the under. Think about the under. Hedge.
Yeah, Chris Rodriguez, like you said, huge player for the Cats to get back for Saturday. He rushed for 1,300 yards last year, throwing on 10 rushing touchdowns as well.
Woo!
So the guy's a freak athlete. I've watched a couple games here and there of him. He's a stud. He's legit.
Yeah,
he's legit.
He's a dog.
He's no Benny Snell, but he's legit. Now, Kentucky last weekend, like I said, they barely beat a Northern Illinois team who just got their starting quarterback back.
Yeah. That was very disappointing. I don't like the way that game played out. It was hard for me to watch, but let's just say this. On average, Kentucky is letting up 13 points a game compared to Ole Miss's 10. So their defenses are really strong. Both of them have a decent up front. The backfield, the defensive backs are questionable both sides. You never know. You might see a big play here, a big play there. But Kentucky beat Florida early on in the year. That was a big test. Ole Miss hasn't had a big test yet, but I mean, this is a hard game for us to talk about because we are big Kentucky guys. So I'm still not sure on a play because my heart is telling me you're a Wildcat. You're a fucking Wildcat, Herb. Play him. You know what to do. But then my brain, it's like, you know what I mean? What's that R. Kelly song? My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes.
It's a great
baby. All right, I ain't gonna get into that. That's some later on in the night shit. But anyway, you know what? Fuck it. Kentucky plus 6.5.
Yeah.
Give it to me. I'm a fucking rider with Stoops.
I'll take that, and you can go ahead and put me for the under as well.
Yeah,
I like the under.
I like the under as well.
So
put it on my card.
Next, you got Oklahoma going to TCU. They're sitting at 6.5 right now. Oklahoma is over under also being at 68.5 too. Now, Oklahoma is coming off a huge loss to Kansas State. What an upset last week. They gave up 4 rushing touchdowns to Kansas State. Yeah. And like I said, Kansas State, apparently their running back is just ridiculous. I had no idea the guy had the talent that he had inside of him. So
yeah. TCU, however, is hosting the Sooners after beating SMU 42-34. Both teams are averaging over 40 points per game. Duggan, the QB for TCU, has completed over 77% of his passes this year. You know what? What the fuck is that last name, for one? Where the fuck that come from? I don't know. That fucked me up. I could barely read it on the paper. But anyways, he's thrown for 8 TDs this season already. Oklahoma struggles often on containing a mobile quarterback, and he can run the shit out of the ball if you give him space. He is a stud. He's a dog. So, I don't know. I like the over. I think both teams are capable of scoring the football. TCU, that's scary. Originally, at the beginning of the week, I had Oklahoma on my card, but the more I read, the more and more I get into it. I think TCU has a shot to be the dog right here, to fight up and win this game.
I think that Oklahoma is in for a rude awakening, and here's why. I'll tell you. A lot of people are thinking, okay, Oklahoma last week, they just lost to fucking Kansas State.
Yeah.
They're going to come out and play smash mouth football against TCU. They're a nobody team. They're bums. Not the way it's going to be going. I think that there's going to be a lot of points this game. 100% put me in for the over. Put me in the over.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do on the spread yet, but I'm for sure taking the over.
But I seen an article today that said a lot of the main public is on Oklahoma.
Yeah, I had to see the percentage.
Thinking for that bounce back game.
Yeah, if that percentage is over 85 or something, I might roll with TCU depending on the percentage of the money.
I do like TCU and the over. Now, stat of the game is the fact that both quarterbacks haven't thrown for an interception all year long. Okay, so Dylan Gabriel has thrown for 11 touchdowns, and then you got Duggan who's thrown for 8 touchdowns. So, like I said, with 0 interceptions, you give me a couple defensive touchdowns in there, something's got to give, right? Like, you got to give me the over at that. 68.5, love it. I'm a big over guy this weekend. I got fucked. I thought there was going to be a lot of unders last weekend. I'm rolling with the over. We are over. Up next, we got number 22, Wake Forest, going into Florida State. Florida State is favored by 7 in this game. Probably going to be 7.5 on FanDuel. Hate that number. 7.5 is gross. Stupid nasty. Then you got the over-under at 65.5. What do you think about this game, Herb?
I got one thing to say, and I don't know if everybody will agree. I think if you disagree, then you don't watch enough football, but Sam Hartman is a fucking dog. I mean, he is a dog. He's not scared to get hit. He's not scared of the big-time play. He is very efficient. I love watching that kid play. I have a lot of faith in him, and I think Florida State is kind of fake news. I've never been a Florida State guy, never will be. And Wake Forest earned my respect last week. I think they walked into Clemson and let their nuts hang and proved themselves. So I'm a big Sam Hartman guy now. I'm a big Wake Forest guy. And I don't care what the spread is. I don't care by the time I get to it. If it's Wake Forest minus 2.5, my ass is going to take it. I'm that confident in Wake Forest.
Really?
Really.
It's maybe one of those games we differ on.
Okay.
Here's what I'll tell you is I'm looking at it at the aspect of yes, Wake Forest just went in and contended with a nasty Clemson team, right? Clemson pulled the win out. Like we said, fuck Clemson, but we love them. Fuck them, we love them. But they're going to give this new persona of themselves that they're going to be a high-scoring offense, go crazy, this, and that. Florida State's not a bad football team. They are not a bad football team. They just blew Boston College, I think it was, out of the water.
Say that name again.
Boston College.
One more time.
Boston College.
Okay, keep going.
Whatever.
They scored 14 points on them. All I know is if they scored 14 points on Kentucky, Ole Miss, or SEC team, mine would be pissed.
Here's what I also tell you is that Florida State, they like to run the ball. They're a ground and pound team. They like to push it. So Wake Forest is so used to this shootout, just like with Clemson last week. Clemson knew that their DBs were shit and couldn't fucking cover a slow-moving turtle crossing the street.
Here's the difference. Wake Forest believes they can hold their own with any aspect of the game. Florida State knows that they can't let it turn into a shootout. And when you're playing to lose, you lose. When you're playing to win, you're going to win. And I expect Wake Forest to let their nuts hang again. Let them know, I'm the dude, you're not. And they're going to let their nuts hang, throw the ball over the field. And I think they might embarrass Florida State. I might play at money line.
Wake Forest?
Yeah. I don't know yet. I'll give my official play, but I think Hedge is a fucking idiot. Also, on a side note, if you hear some dog in the background fucking whining, clawing, scratching, fucking Hedge brought his goddamn dog to the office today like a fucking moron. There it is. Listen. Shut the fuck up, Gus! Anyways, we're trying to get through the podcast, but if you hear that, I apologize. That is completely on, Hedge. It's on Hedge, not us.
I had nowhere to put it.
I apologize. I apologize for Hedge.
The dog daycare was closed. What was I supposed to do? I couldn't get him in.
I'd have tied him up on a fucking pole outside. It's fall. It's not winter.
Yes, I'd take my dog to a dog daycare. That's because he lives a bougie-ass life. I don't care. It's
because Hedge don't get no bitches.
Like Herb says.
I got 2 Weimaraner's at the crib. My bitch is watching them.
If you don't like it, get off the fucking channel.
Hey, Wake Forest.
So you're taking Wake Forest plus 7?
Plus 7. Probably going to be plus 7.5.
Give me the under 65.5. I think a lot of people's going to be a shootout. No way. Like I said, Florida State's going to control the clock, take control of the game. Give me Florida State plus 7. Then to follow up with that game, you got Alabama going to Arkansas. Alabama's still favored by 17.5 points. Over-under sitting at 60.5. I'm sorry. What a crazy game this is going to shape out to be.
I'll say this. I look at this line, and I think of Arkansas, and what a fucking disrespectful line. I think it's super disrespectful, but I'll also say this, to piggyback on that. There's 2 people you don't bet against, okay? There's 2 people. If you gamble football, you know you don't put money against, and number 1 is Nick Saban, number 2 is Tom Brady. And I will always stick to that. I will never put money up against Nick Saban. I think he is fucking, sometimes I think he's Satan. I don't know. I don't understand how people could look at this line and be comfortable with betting Arkansas plus 17.5. And when I said this line was disrespectful, y'all think I meant it was disrespectful towards Arkansas? No. I think this is disrespectful towards Alabama and Nick Saban. They are fucking manhandling everybody. And like they do every year. And people are like, oh, they played shit teams. They ain't played nobody.
What about Texas?
Nick Saban does what has to be done. He's not going to embarrass you, but he's going to cover that spread and let you know we're this team. He's a very confident and respectful guy. Like I said, he's not going to embarrass you. But I look for Arkansas fans, maybe some people in the organization, maybe get some chatter out there, say something. And Nick Saban won't tell you he heard it, but he'll let you know he heard it on the field. And I'd take Alabama minus 21.5. But I want y'all to look out for something. Arkansas likes to run the ball, loves to run the ball. 60.5 is a lot. I see, if that's going to go over, I see Alabama maybe scoring 50, maybe 48. They're averaging 48.
So you think it's going to be a blowout?
Oh, yeah, I think they're going to embarrass Arkansas.
Like kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that it's a different ball game. You're another man on the fucking schedule. That's all it is. They don't look at jerseys. They don't think it's you're just the next man up, and you wish you weren't them.
2 factors you got to pay attention to here. One, it's a 7:30 game, primetime game. The lights are on. Everybody's watching.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, it's at Arkansas.
Here's the thing.
And Alabama, Texas almost
What
gave
time,
it up.
What time was that game?
Was that at noon? Was that a noon game?
Lights weren't on.
That's true.
Lights weren't on, and they ain't.
It's a super early game
Texas
for that.
Heat is different from Alabama Heat. That's all I got to say. Listen, boys, when the lights come on, these guys turn into demons. I'm scared for Arkansas. If I was Arkansas, I wouldn't want to play this fucking game. That's all I got to say. I think Nick Saban's going to prove a point. Bryce Young needs to prove a point. He's probably 5th on my Heisman race right now. He had a shitty fucking performance last week, and everybody surpassed him. But if he wants to prove to me he's that guy again, I think he puts up 4 touchdowns against Arkansas. He throws it all over the field, embarrasses their defensive backs.
Yeah.
I'm taking Alabama minus 17.5, and I think if I'm up in the day, I'm going to take the over for shits and giggles. Shits and giggles. I'm going to take the over, too.
Okay. I like the over. Man. It's a lot of fucking points. And I've watched Arkansas play. I just think that they can not control the ball more, but definitely milk more of the clock to their advantage for their running game. Does that make sense? Like, they can utilize their running game and turn it into like a time fest.
Well, if you think that, then you should probably just take Alabama with the spread and not take the over. If they're going to control that much time, then how's Alabama going to score 48 points?
Well, but you're saying is I should take Alabama minus 17.5?
Yeah, and fuck the over under.
But I'm saying I like Arkansas.
Well, then take them in the over, because it's going to have to go over if Arkansas is going to beat them. Because they ain't going to shut their ass out.
No, yeah, you're right. Like I said, I like the over.
Well, then you better take Arkansas.
That's what I'm saying. I like Arkansas.
Well, then, good luck.
I didn't see that one coming.
That's game 2 we fucking disagree on.
Yeah, that's...
It's all because you brought that fucking dog to the office.
That's every time. Right back to it. I mean...
I ain't going to let it go.
Let it go. He got
my fucking Cheeto Puffs earlier, too. I had him sitting next to my chair. I look over, there's a hole ripped out of the fucking bag.
He's just hungry.
Fuck you, Gus.
He's just hungry. You're getting to start talking again, so why don't you just go right ahead and keep talking to him. Next, you got Oklahoma State. They're going to Baylor. Baylor is favored in this game, minus 2.5. Over under 56.5.
I like Baylor.
Off rip.
Yeah.
Just like that. Ain't even named any backings
I'm a Baylor,
straight off the top.
I'm a Baylor believer. Baylor believer.
I like it. I like Baylor, actually. I think that Baylor really can... They can just create for themselves. They can kill you in the running game. Now, their quarterback isn't as electric as say, like KJ Jefferson or Bryce Young, but he's good at, like, reading defenses. He's good at being able to know, okay, if the offensive coordinator calls this, yes, I'm going to run it, but I'm looking at all my options. I'm not just looking at this one guy like a Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams type situation. You know what I mean? Bryce Young, or was it Bryce Young to Devontae Smith? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. So, like, you get mixtures like that. Yeah, it's a one-centric team. But I just think Baylor can really spread it out. Oklahoma State's good. They're really good.
I just like Baylor. I think
they score a lot of points, too.
I think they're favored for a reason. They got it at home. This is a prove it to everybody game right here. I don't know. I'm a Baylor believer. Like I said, there's not much more I can say. I see the line. I see the number. Like I said, I bet numbers. I don't bet faces. So I just like Baylor.
Actually, you know what? I really, really, really like Baylor minus 2.5 now that I look at it.
You put all the stats and the faces out the window and look at the history. Like, the one stat I do like is Oklahoma State won last year's game, and I just think this could turn into a back and forth series through the years. So I just really like Baylor. I'm taking them Baylor minus 2.5. I don't fuck with the over.
Baylor beat them in the conference championship last year.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm a Baylor believer. I think it's an oncoming.
I think it was a last-second touchdown. Like, he, like, ran it out to the edge and, like, stuck out. It was, like, a controversial call or however you want to say that. So, I mean, big game, big moment. I like it. I think it's, put me down for Baylor minus 2.5 and then put me down for – I'll take the over just to have fun. Just to have fun. 60 – what is it? 56? Oh, wow.
It's an odd number.
Ooh, I thought it was way higher than that. Actually, you know what? Put me for the under. I like the under. I take that back. I'm retracing my stuff.
I want to talk about this game real quick. Not too long, but Clemson at NC State. Listen, guys. I know we all watched the game. Clemson's still Clemson. I'll say it every week. Everybody's going to hammer NC State. I think they think after last week against Wake Forest that it might be close. I think it goes over as well, 40.5. That's a low number, but I think Clemson. I'm just waiting on Clemson to have a breakout game offensively, and I'm not going to be the guy that doesn't play it. Their defensive backs look fucking horrendous against Wake Forest.
I like the over.
Got fucking embarrassed, but I love the over at Clemson, and I love Clemson. I think they win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. 40.5 over. Real quick.
Oh my gosh, 40.5. I did not realize it was that
it's
low.
Listen, it's low, but I really, like I said, I'm not going to be on the
You know what? That makes me like Clemson even more and to take the under.
Well,
for Clemson to get like a shutout win to 28-0.
Like I just said, they're not going to be on I'm not going to be on the back end of Clemson's breakout game. I'm not going to be there.
No.
So I'm going to ride Clemson until it makes me money. If I regret it at the end of the year, I'll fucking let you all know.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to take Clemson in that situation. Like I said, they could come out and win 28-0. I like the under. Put me for the under on that one, too.
So our next quickie is Stanford versus number 13, Oregon. Oregon is minus 17 for the game. The over and under is 63.5. Listen, boys.
Fuck Bo Nix.
Yeah, like always. But I can't. This is a game. It's a late night game. This is a game for if you're up for the day, you're going to play something for shits. But if you're down, you might try to even out your day. I don't have much advice for you except for I don't have a lot of faith in Stanford, and I sure as hell don't have any faith in Bo Nix. Only thing I can say is the over, maybe 63.5. I like that number. I like Stanford and Oregon's overs. I always play them. Like, it's a West Coast game. Hedge loves West Coast games.
I do.
He lives for them. His dick gets hard for him.
I mean, you get to stay up late and watch football and gamble.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an all-night party to me.
Yeah,
like I said, fuck Bo Nix. You can give me Stanford plus 17.5, and then give me the over for like he said,
I'm
for shits.
I'm going to continue to look at the percentages to see where the money's at, but I'm not on either team right now, but I am on the over at 63.5.
Now it's time for the cash money combo.
So this cash money combo is something we're going to start implementing in our podcast, and what it is Hedge is going to pick a favorite and a dog, and I will as well. So it'll be a 14 parlay. It can be from 12 o'clock or like this late game at 10:30 at night. It's just going to be a 14 parlay, 2 dogs and 2 favorites. Our agenda right here is we're just trying to help you guys wager a little bit of money to win a lot, and we're going to continue to do this week by week. Hopefully we hit a couple.
Low risk, high reward.
Yeah, just like Hedge said, we're gonna work real hard on these. It's probably what I'm gonna spend most of my time trying to find, because I love low risk, high reward games. I mean, sometimes we're deep in and we need that, so we're here for that. And y'all get on the train, and let's win some money with the cash money combo.
So Herb, tell us your favorite and dog. And when we say dog and favorite, we really mean like dog for point spread and then favorite for point spread. So we're taking somebody's minus something and then somebody's plus something.
Yeah, this is not an over and under.
And it's just a little 14 parlay like you said.
Yeah, so my dog in the parlay is Navy plus 14. And let me tell you a little bit about it. I love these games. I love Navy, Army, and Air Force. I love watching them. I love playing these
Love
games.
them government games.
I do. I really do. I think it screams America. They play football the way it's supposed to be played. Air Force always runs that triple option, as you all know. They've struggled a little bit this year, and I think 14 is too many points. I think Navy's going to have a lot of pride going into this game. I got to attend a Navy and Air Force game a couple years ago, and it was probably one of the best experiences of my life. Everybody that has went to one, they'll tell you, just the camaraderie and everything that goes on at these games it's just wonderful. I call these America's games, so I'm going to take Navy plus 14 for my dog.
Then who's your favorite?
My favorite, I'm gonna go with Minnesota minus 12. I'm big on Minnesota this year. I think they're gonna impress a lot of people in the Big Ten, and I'm gonna ride that train for a little bit. So Minnesota minus 12.
I love them, love it. My favorite that I like is Maryland minus 8.5. Now let me tell you why I like them. It's because Tua's brother has really been getting it done. Who did they played?
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan last week. Contended with Michigan. Mm-hmm. I mean, he played a great game. He hung in there. He was slinging balls. I like the kid. I think that, last year he really struggled a lot with interceptions, picks, all those good things. But, I mean, what starting quarterback on a big-name team like that doesn't? You know what I mean? So, give me Maryland minus 8.5, and then give me West Virginia, the coal miners, baby. Give me them plus 9.5. Love it. Mark it down. Cash money combo. It's going to hit. That's a 4-team parlay. If you put 2 units on it, it's plus 1,273.
Those are great odds.
Great odds.
Great
It's a 4-teamer. We're going to roll with it.
Hop on the train. Hop on the cash money combo train with us. Let's win some money. Let's get this shit going.
Hey.
Okay, now to end the show, we're going to get into our individual cards. Me and Hedge thought about last week, and you know, you have that brother and that best friend that you grow up with, and you don't do anything different. You try to be on the same side of every situation, but we talked about it, and we decided that might not always be the best for you. You might want to ride me or fade me. You might want to ride Hedge and fade Hedge. So we're going to give individual cards. I'm going to go over mine first and then let Hedge go next. This is going to be real quick. I'm not going to talk much about the games. This is kind of like a feel thing. This is what my main plays are for the day. So let's get into it. So I told you all Thursday and Friday games aren't my forte, but after listening to Hedge talk, riding with Washington minus 2.5. Earlier, when I was making this card, I had Oklahoma minus 6.5. And after going over the stats, going over the line, scratch that. I'm going TCU plus 6.5. Yeah, that's spicy right there. But anyways, now I'm just gonna go through my card, talk a little bit. I ain't gonna go in detail. But Cincinnati minus 9.5. USC, I'm a big USC guy this year. I think they have a crazy offensive game, so I'm gonna go minus 20 or 25.5. I'm gonna go Auburn plus 9. It's at Auburn. They're hosting LSU. Fuck Chip Kelly. Don't believe in him. UNC versus Virginia Tech. I'm gonna take the over at 51.5. It's a big Jersey game for me. I like their colors. I like the way they look on the field. And that just screams points. It just screams entertainment. So I'm taking the over 51.5. Oklahoma State, Baylor. I already have Baylor on my card, but I'm also going to take the over at 56.5. And then I'm going to take Boston College plus 15 against Louisville. Fuck Louisville. And then, real quick.
Okay.
My 5-star play for this week.
Oh.
Said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. Wake Forest plus 7.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. Okay. So, like he said, we're not going to go too crazy into detail on cards. Just going to give you a quick spiel. So, on Thursday, I do like the over for BYU, Utah State, over 16.5. I think I mentioned that earlier. Friday, I like Houston, minus 2.5. Middle Tennessee State, UTSA, over 63.5. High scoring game. I think it's going to go way over, like, in the 80s. Washington versus UCLA, taking the over 64.5, and then UNLV minus 13.5 over New Mexico. New Mexico fucking sucks. They're awful, dog shit, terrible. Somebody should fucking make them quit. They should go to the FCS. They shouldn't be in FBS anymore, I'll tell you that. So then you got on Saturday, like Kansas State plus 7.5, Michigan minus 10.5 against Iowa. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I just think that Michigan really is that much better than Iowa. I don't really think that there's a contention there. Herb, you're going to get mad at me here, but I got to take Purdue plus 12.5. I just think it's one of those games where they just show – it's kind of like when they beat Ohio State with that one kid from Trinity. He scored like 4 touchdowns in a game, went nuts.
Listen, hey, real quick, I understand that, but, hey, boys, that does not defer from our cash money combo because that is my pick and his pick together. So he took Purdue. Yeah. That has nothing to do –
Actually, no, fuck that. Take Purdue off my card then. I don't want it. I don't want that. No, take it off. Okay. Take it off. Fuck that. I'm riding cash money combo for days. I don't need that. I don't need that on my shit. So take off fucking Purdue plus 12.5. I do like Iowa State minus 3. I also like the under against Kansas. Kansas and Duke, they soared last week. You give me the under at 59.5. I also like the under of the LSU Auburn game, 46.5. Makes no sense. Big SEC game. Think it's going to be a defensive battle.
That helps my Auburn plus 9 right there. I like that.
Yep. Give me the under for NC State versus Clemson, 40.5. It's crazy. That's nuts to me. And then give me the West Virginia and who are they playing? Texas over. That's who they're playing. Give it to me. Love it. Mark it down. So then I got my 5-star play.
Get ready.
Give me Mississippi State
-3.5. Love
Woo.
it. Mark it down.
Hey, he's on
Fuck
that.
Texas
He's on that.
A&M
Fuck
for
Texas
losing me money
A&M
last
tree.
week. For losing me my money last week. I'm not fucking playing around no more. We want to fucking rock out with our cocks out, baby.
Yes,
Let's go to
sir.
Vegas and go to the moon.
All right, boys, listen, you all got our plays, you got our cards, you got our 5 stars, and you got the cash money combo. Thank you for tuning in to the Herb and Hedge Show once again. Our week 2, college football week 5. Let's get on the train. Let's make money. Thursday through Sunday, let's beat Vegas. I love you all. We appreciate you all. Let's get it going.
Run up the check. Let's get the money. Bitch, it ain't funny. Hey!